Have you ever wondered if your bathing habits could be putting your health at risk, especially as you age? Many of us don't think twice about when and how we bathe, but did you know that improper bathing routines can lead to serious health issues? Whether it's dizziness, falls, or even more severe complications like hypoglycemia or heart problems, these risks are more common than you might think. In today's video, we're going to dive into some essential safety tips for elderly people when it comes to bathing. From avoiding the bathroom immediately after meals to ensuring proper ventilation, these simple yet critical precautions can help protect yourself or your loved ones from harm. We'll also cover why bathing during a fever or right after drinking alcohol can be dangerous, and how to prevent accidents caused by slippery floors or a lack of support. By watching this video until the end, you'll learn how to create a safer bathing environment, reduce the risk of falls, and maintain your health while enjoying one of life's simplest pleasures. Whether you're caring for an elderly relative or looking to improve your routine, the advice shared here will give you the knowledge to make informed, healthier choices. So, stick with us to ensure your next bath is as safe and beneficial as possible. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. 1. Never bathe in cold water. As the summer sun blazes down with its unforgiving heat, the instinct to seek relief in a cold shower can feel irresistible. But for elderly individuals, this seemingly harmless act can be a silent threat to their health, one that can strike with little warning and cause irreversible damage. Sudden exposure to cold water is far more dangerous than most people realize, especially for the elderly whose bodies may already be weakened by age or pre-existing conditions. When the body is suddenly submerged in cold water, blood vessels constrict almost immediately, responding to the shock of the drastic temperature change. This sudden narrowing of blood vessels increases resistance to blood flow, creating an immense strain on the cardiovascular system. For the elderly, whose hearts may already be fragile and circulation less efficient, this strain can be overwhelming. The shock to the system can be so severe that it triggers a cascade of physiological responses, heightening the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other life-threatening complications. In one deeply troubling case, an elderly patient, over 60 years old, was rushed to the hospital after collapsing unexpectedly. Their family, frantic and scared, could not comprehend what had caused the sudden loss of consciousness. Upon arriving at the emergency room, the patient's condition began to stabilize, but their recovery was far from certain. The patient, who had a long history of hypertension, had been working as a street vendor in the scorching heat of the day. Feeling overheated, they immediately took a cold shower to cool off. However, the abrupt transition from intense heat to icy cold water proved to be too much for their body to handle. During the shower, the patient's blood pressure spiked, and they suddenly lost consciousness. The family, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, immediately called for medical help. When doctors performed a CT scan, they discovered the devastating truth. The patient had suffered a brain hemorrhage. Miraculously, the bleeding wasn't severe enough to be fatal, but it was still a life-threatening situation. The doctors opted for conservative treatment, as the hemorrhage wasn't large enough to warrant surgery, but the patient's life had been teetering on the edge. This tragic incident serves as a poignant reminder of the dangers lurking behind seemingly simple acts. The elderly, particularly those with pre-existing health conditions like high blood pressure, are far more susceptible to the effects of sudden temperature changes. On hot summer days, when the temptation to jump into cold water is at its peak, the risks far outweigh the benefits. The body's blood vessels are simply not prepared to handle such a rapid temperature change, and the consequences can be catastrophic. A simple shower, meant to cool the body, could instead lead to a stroke, brain hemorrhage, or worse. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Medical professionals emphasize the critical need for caution when it comes to elderly individuals, especially those with underlying conditions like hypertension or heart disease, taking baths or showers in extreme temperatures. The blood vessels require time to adjust to changes in temperature, and rushing this process can result in dangerous complications. For the sake of their health and safety, elderly individuals should never bathe in cold water, even in the sweltering heat of summer. Instead, using lukewarm or warm water allows the body to gradually adapt, minimizing the risk of serious health issues. Ultimately, the message is clear. Even in the heat of summer, the elderly must be extra cautious when it comes to bathing. Cold water, while refreshing, can pose an immense risk to their already fragile health. It's better to err on the side of caution, using warm water to ensure their safety and well-being. Never underestimate the silent dangers of a sudden temperature change. It could cost more than just comfort, it could cost a life. 2. Don't bathe too frequently. As people age, their bodies undergo gradual yet profound changes, particularly in metabolism and skin health. The process of skin cell regeneration slows down significantly, leaving the skin more fragile and vulnerable to external elements. In addition to this, the skin's ability to secrete natural oils diminishes, compromising the skin's protective barrier. Without this shield, the skin becomes defenseless against dirt, pollutants, and harmful chemicals in the environment, making it increasingly prone to dryness, irritation, and uncomfortable itching. If left unaddressed, the lack of proper care can also lead to rashes or inflamed skin that feels tight, rough, and sore. The emotional toll of such discomfort is not just physical. It can also erode one's sense of well-being, contributing to feelings of vulnerability and distress. Given these challenges, it becomes essential for elderly individuals to adjust their bathing habits thoughtfully, based on both the changing seasons and their unique health conditions. During the cold, dry winter months, when the air is harsh and the body's natural defenses are weakened by reduced physical activity, frequent baths can do more harm than good. The cold weather already limits sweating and oil production, and bathing too often can strip the skin of its remaining moisture. This can leave the skin parched, cracked, and increasingly prone to irritation, making winter a time for gentler care. For elderly individuals, bathing once a week in winter can strike the right balance, preserving the skin's natural moisture and protecting it from the ravages of the season. In stark contrast, the summer months bring a sharp increase in perspiration, as the body works to cool itself in the intense heat. In this season, the elderly may find themselves needing to bathe more frequently to remove sweat and maintain personal hygiene. While daily baths may be necessary, care must be taken to ensure that the water temperature is carefully regulated. Too hot or too cold water can cause damage, either by stripping the skin of its oils or by putting unnecessary strain on the cardiovascular system. Experts recommend a bath temperature of between 37 to 39 degrees Celsius, a range that is close enough to body temperature to avoid shock or discomfort while still providing a clean, refreshing experience. In cases where the water is too hot, the skin's delicate oils can be washed away, leaving it more susceptible to dryness. Furthermore, hot water can expand peripheral blood vessels, which increases the strain on the heart, an especially important consideration for those with pre-existing heart conditions. Thus, bathing habits must be carefully tailored to meet the body's evolving needs, always protecting and nurturing the skin, ensuring comfort, and maintaining overall health. This is not just about hygiene. It's about respecting the body's wisdom and responding with gentleness and care. The need to balance the body's requirements with the changing seasons is a delicate dance, one that, if done with attention and compassion, can greatly enhance the quality of life and preserve a sense of dignity and well-being. 3. Avoid bathing immediately after exercise or exercising right after bathing. After any form of physical exertion, it is critical to allow your body time to recover before stepping into the shower. This simple act of resting may seem insignificant, but it plays a vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of blood circulation. Without sufficient rest, blood may not flow properly to the heart and brain, which can lead to dangerous consequences: fainting, dizziness, or even life-threatening situations. Kenji, a 75-year-old man living on the serene outskirts of Tokyo, had always prided himself on his health. His small, peaceful garden was his pride and joy. Every morning and afternoon, despite his age, he could be found tending to his plants, digging, and nurturing the vibrant life that flourished in his yard. The warmth of the sun, the gentle breeze, and the rhythmic flow of his hands in the soil brought him a deep sense of joy and fulfillment. He had always believed that his healthy lifestyle, filled with physical labor and the quiet satisfaction of caring for nature, kept him strong. One particularly bright and sunny afternoon in June, after a satisfying session of gardening, Kenji returned to his home drenched in sweat, the heat of the day settling on his tired body. Instead of resting for a moment, as his body urgently needed, he rushed to the bathroom, eager to cool off in a cold shower. This was a routine he had followed for years. No matter how exhausted he was, a cold shower had always been his ritual of refreshment after a hard day's work. His family knew it well. They'd always seen him do it. But they never imagined how dangerous this seemingly innocent habit could be. A few minutes after leaving the bathroom, as Kenji stepped into the hallway, his body gave way. His legs buckled, and in an instant, he collapsed to the ground, his frail body crumpling with a harshness that sent shockwaves through his family. His wife, his children, and grandchildren rushed to his side, panic seizing their hearts. They immediately called for help, their voices trembling with fear. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, but time was already working against them. Kenji was rushed to the hospital, where doctors quickly diagnosed him with a stroke caused by a brain hemorrhage. The bleeding in his brain was a direct result of his long-standing battle with high blood pressure, a condition that silently worsened over the years. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, Kenji's condition was dire. His family, who had always seen him as a pillar of strength and vitality, watched helplessly as he slipped away. His death, sudden and devastating, left a gaping hole in their hearts. The grief was profound, but with it came a painful realization. They had overlooked something so simple, so essential, the need to rest and allow the body to heal before subjecting it to further strain. It was a hard lesson, one that no one should have to learn the way they did. In their sorrow, they vowed to make changes in their own lives. They would no longer take their health for granted. They would ensure that their elderly family members, and anyone they loved, understood the importance of rest after physical activity and before bathing. No one should ever have to face the risks that come with neglecting such basic care. The family also took the time to reflect on the habits of elderly individuals, many of whom have developed the dangerous habit of diving into tasks right after bathing. The heat from the shower can cause dizziness, making the body more vulnerable. Without taking a break, elderly people may unknowingly push their limits, only to be met with physical discomfort or even a health crisis. It became clear to them that a simple but crucial change was needed. Elderly individuals should rest for at least 20 to 30 minutes after bathing, allowing their bodies time to recalibrate before engaging in any other activity. This experience, though tragically painful, was a wake-up call that they would carry with them for the rest of their lives. They would not let Kenji's death be in vain. His legacy would be one of awareness, care, and a commitment to preserving the health and well-being of those they loved. 4. Do not bathe during a fever. When the body's temperature rises above 38 degrees Celsius, it triggers a cascade of intense biological reactions. The metabolic rate accelerates dramatically, increasing energy expenditure by up to 20%, as the body fights to bring the fever down. This heightened activity is driven by mechanisms like shivering and the expansion of blood vessels beneath the skin, both of which work tirelessly in an attempt to regulate the soaring temperature. However, during this period of internal turmoil, the body is in a fragile and vulnerable state. Its defenses are stretched thin, and every additional strain placed on it exacerbates the risk of severe complications. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Bathing in such a weakened condition, when the body is already battling to maintain equilibrium, may lead to disastrous outcomes. The risk of hypoglycemia, circulatory failure, and vascular issues looms large, as the body struggles to cope with the additional shock of cold or hot water. It is a moment where even the simplest actions can have profound, potentially harmful consequences. Therefore, for the sake of protecting your health and preserving the delicate balance your body is desperately trying to maintain, it is essential to avoid bathing while your temperature is elevated. Taking this precaution can help prevent unnecessary strain and safeguard against serious, long-term health risks. 5. Avoid bathing immediately after drinking alcohol. Alcohol, while providing a temporary sense of relaxation or euphoria, has a far-reaching and detrimental impact on the body, particularly on the liver. The liver, one of the most vital organs in our body, plays a crucial role in metabolizing alcohol, but it also governs the storage and release of glycogen, the body's primary energy reserve. When alcohol is consumed, it hampers the liver's ability to properly regulate glycogen levels, impeding the release of glucose when the body urgently requires it. This disruption becomes especially dangerous when the body is placed under additional stress. After consuming alcohol, the body finds itself in a state of heightened vulnerability. Glucose, which is essential for fueling every cell in the body, is not readily available from the liver. During a bath, the body's metabolic demands increase significantly as it works hard to maintain a stable internal temperature, adjusting to the drastic changes caused by the warm water. This heightened demand for energy exacerbates the already compromised glucose levels, putting the body at risk of hypoglycemia, a condition where blood sugar drops dangerously low. The consequences of this imbalance can be swift and alarming. The individual may experience dizziness, overwhelming fatigue, and trembling hands, signs that the body is struggling to compensate for the sudden glucose deficiency. In more severe cases, these symptoms can escalate rapidly, leading to a dangerous state of unconsciousness or collapse. The danger of combining alcohol consumption with immediate bathing lies in its potential to overwhelm the body's delicate balance, increasing the risk of life-threatening situations. To safeguard your health and well-being, it is crucial to wait before taking a bath after drinking. This seemingly small decision could be the difference between feeling invigorated and experiencing a life-threatening crisis. By allowing the body time to process the alcohol and restore balance, you're protecting your health from the hidden dangers alcohol can impose when combined with everyday activities like bathing. 6. Avoid bathing immediately after meals. After eating, your body undergoes a complex process of digestion, where it directs blood flow to the stomach and intestines to help break down and absorb nutrients. This vital process requires a careful balance of blood circulation. When you bathe right after a meal, the warmth from the water causes the blood vessels in your skin to expand, redirecting blood flow away from your digestive organs and towards the surface of your skin. This disruption can severely affect the digestive system, leading to a range of uncomfortable and potentially dangerous symptoms such as indigestion, bloating, and a general feeling of heaviness. The body struggles to properly digest food when its resources are diverted in this way, leaving you vulnerable to digestive disturbances that can linger for hours. On the other hand, bathing on an empty stomach is not without its dangers. Without adequate food to fuel your body, there is a risk that your circulatory system will lack the energy to keep blood circulating efficiently, depriving your organs, particularly your brain, of oxygen. This lack of oxygen can lead to dizziness, fainting, or overwhelming fatigue. To safeguard your health and ensure the proper functioning of your body's complex systems, it's essential to choose the right time for bathing. Wait at least an hour after eating before immersing yourself in water, and avoid bathing when your stomach is empty. By doing so, you allow your body to fully focus on the important work of digestion, while also protecting yourself from the physical strain that can come from improper timing. Remember, your health is precious. Take the time to care for it properly. Here are additional safety points for elderly people to ensure safety while bathing. 1. Prevent sudden falls during bathing. The bathroom, a place of routine comfort, can quickly transform into a perilous environment if not properly equipped. To safeguard against unforeseen dangers, it is essential to install a ventilation system that ensures constant airflow, preventing the buildup of steam and humidity. This is particularly critical during the hot summer months when the temperature and moisture in the air soar, creating an atmosphere that can quickly turn suffocating. While healthy individuals can generally adapt to such conditions with ease, the elderly, those with weakened bodies, or those who are already fatigued are far more vulnerable. The lack of adequate oxygen in these stifling environments can be incredibly harmful, leading to a range of serious complications. For those whose bodies are not as resilient, the effects can be both alarming and life-threatening. Prolonged exposure to excessive heat causes blood vessels to dilate, in turn reducing blood flow to the brain. This compromised circulation may result in a sudden drop in blood pressure or even temporary hypoxia, a condition in which the brain is deprived of sufficient oxygen. The consequences can be devastating, leaving individuals dizzy, disoriented, and at risk of losing consciousness. In extreme cases, exhaustion may cause them to faint, resulting in a dangerous fall. The importance of proper ventilation cannot be overstated. By ensuring fresh air circulation, we reduce the risk of these hidden threats, creating a safer, more comfortable space where bathing remains a rejuvenating experience, rather than a potential hazard. 2. Ensure non-slip measures. Studies have consistently shown that one of the most dangerous moments for elderly individuals is when they exit the bathtub or shower. The risk of slips, trips, and falls is alarmingly high during this vulnerable time, often leading to painful fractures, severe injuries, and, in the most tragic cases, life-threatening accidents. These falls can shatter more than just bones. They can shatter the sense of independence and security that elderly individuals so deeply cherish. To minimize this serious risk, it is essential to implement comprehensive non-slip measures throughout the home, particularly in and around the bathroom, where the dangers are most prevalent. Non-slip slippers are a vital safeguard, offering a simple yet effective solution to prevent feet from losing grip on wet and slippery surfaces. Additionally, strategically placing non-slip mats both inside and outside the bathroom acts as a second line of defense, ensuring that each step is grounded in safety. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Even more crucial is the installation of sturdy handrails in both horizontal and vertical positions. These handrails provide invaluable support, giving elderly individuals the reassurance they need to move confidently, whether bathing or walking. By securely gripping these rails, they can avoid the terrifying prospect of a fall that could lead to devastating physical and emotional consequences. Each of these thoughtful measures, seemingly small but profoundly important, adds a layer of protection that can be the difference between a safe, independent life and one filled with fear and avoidable injury. 3. Do not lock the door during bathing. Locking the door during bathing is a common practice for privacy, a small act of independence that many of us take for granted. However, for the elderly, especially those with limited mobility or at a higher risk of accidents, this seemingly harmless habit can become a dangerous risk. When the door is locked, it creates a barrier that may prevent family members from reaching them in the event of an emergency, such as a fall or sudden health issue. In these vulnerable moments, every second counts. Caregivers and family members need to remain vigilant and ensure the door remains unlocked, allowing immediate access if needed. Monitoring the duration of the bath is equally important. If the time spent exceeds expectations or if there are signs of discomfort or distress, intervention should be swift and decisive. In these moments, compassion and attentiveness can mean the difference between safety and disaster. By creating a safe environment where elderly individuals feel supported and cared for, we ensure their well-being, while providing peace of mind to those who love them. 4. Bring a small chair into the bathroom. As people age, their physical strength often diminishes, making everyday tasks more challenging and exhausting. Bathing, an activity that requires standing for extended periods, can be particularly taxing for the elderly. The simple act of standing on slippery, wet tiles can become a dangerous ordeal. The prolonged exertion leads to fatigue, which can severely impair balance, heightening the risk of an unfortunate fall. Such a fall in a bathroom, with its slick surfaces, could result in devastating injuries. Introducing a small, sturdy chair into the bathroom can provide a life-changing solution. This modest adjustment offers a haven for the elderly, providing them with a chance to rest when their strength wanes. As they sit, they are relieved from the constant strain on their muscles and circulatory system, allowing them to regain their composure without the added threat of collapse. The chair becomes more than just a piece of furniture. It symbolizes a measure of protection, a small but vital safeguard that enhances the elderly person's safety and well-being during an otherwise ordinary, yet potentially hazardous, daily routine. By incorporating this simple change, we create a bathroom environment that is not only safer but also more empowering, allowing our elders to maintain their dignity and independence with far less risk. So, what have we learned today? We've explored some thoughtful and practical ways to make daily routines safer and more manageable for our elderly loved ones. Simple actions, like adding a small chair to the bathroom, can make a world of difference in preventing accidents and supporting their independence. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is one key takeaway you've learned from this video that you plan to put into practice in your life? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, like, and share, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more useful tips and insights. Your support helps us create more valuable content to assist you in making life easier and safer for everyone. Thank you for watching.